Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, January 30th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we'll get started shortly. So hopefully everyone had a great weekend. If you guys are participating in the mentorship, we had the orientation yesterday, and today is the first official live training day for, I guess, this mentorship. Depending on when you guys start, you guys can start whenever, but I guess today's going to be the first day for a lot of the new people in the group to partake in the live trading session. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, for this session, you guys will see that we mainly focus on just trading. I'll answer questions when you have some downtime or at the end of the session. So yeah, feel free to put your questions. You probably won't get answered right away, but eventually I will answer your question when we have some either downtime or towards the end. So just a couple more things here to update, and I think we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. It's good. All right, perfect. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. Hey, Van Harbeck, how's it going? All right, so it looks like people are making their way in, guys. So I'll get a few moments for people to join. So good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, January 30th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to give it a few moments for people to make their way into the room. I'm going to post up this link on our social media real quick, and then we should be on our way. All right. All right, looks good. So, all right, let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maddie. Morning, Peter. Morning, Karen. Morning, Keonia. Happy Monday. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. So it looks like about half of you guys are here so far. I'll get a few more moments of people to make their way in at 6:24 right now. So the market's going to open in about 6 minutes. Once the market opens, we'll take a look at the analysis for the overall bias and the short-term bias, because I think they're a little different. And then we'll go from there. So. Gotcha, Maddie. Yeah, Maddie said it's 62% short. You can see the bottom side liquidity and making its way back up. Yeah, I can see that too, Maddie. So, all right, guys, looks like more than half of you guys are here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with our analysis for this morning. Let's start off with the higher time frame. So with the higher time frames over here, I'm going to put up the requirements for the breakout 2.0. So if you guys are new here, or if you guys are part of the mentorship for February, this is not a trade that I recommend you guys take. If you guys know how to take the breakout 2.0 and you guys want to take it, feel free to take it. But just remember, guys, if you guys are here and part of the mentorship, I want to make sure that you guys focus on only one strategy, which is going to be the momentum scalp variation. So when that trade comes up, I'll try to give you guys a shout out and remind you guys, okay, like this is the trade that I'm looking for you guys to take. And I'll tell you what the TP stop loss should be. Majority of you guys should be on a 200K FTMO account. So if you guys are using that 200K account, your lot size should be, your lot size is going to vary depending on the on the move. So if it's a 300 pip stop loss, you use 100 lot. For a 500 pip stop loss, you'll use a 60 lot. Just use proper risk. I'll try to give you guys a heads up, for which lot size to use and for which TP stop loss. I know it's going to be a little difficult if you guys are not used to it right away. For me personally, I'm just going to leave it at 100 lots because, sometimes I'll enter a trade with the anticipation of taking it for the full move of 250 pips. But in some instances, if the market starts to slow down, I'll probably get out at like 100 pips. So just keep that in mind. You're either going to be using a lot size of 60 or a lot size of 100, depending on the TP stop loss. But I'll try to give you guys a heads up before that, plays out, just so that you guys know exactly what to use. Morning Vince, morning Rashida, morning AR, morning Gary, morning T, morning everybody. But anyways, looking over here on the higher time frames, guys, as you guys can see, these are the requirements for the breakout 2.0. First, you want to confirm the overall trend. So looking over here on the 1 hour, you can see that price is somewhat bullish. It was bearish, but now it's pushing back up. So there's no specific direction of trend here on the 1 hour. And that's not going to fit the criteria, right? You need to confirm the trend on all three timeframes. So right here, you can basically assume that it's bearish, but it's really neutral. Looking over here on the 30-minute, you can assume that it's bearish as well, but really, realistically, it is neutral here as well because price is in between the pivots. So looking over here on the 1 hour and the 30-minute, there's no overall trend, right? Because both of them are pretty much neutral. So with that said, we're not really going to be able to take the breakout 2.0. It looks like that the trend here on the 10-minute is bullish. So if this is bullish, this is bearish, and this is neutral, there's not going to be an alignment. So with that said, there's not going to be a breakout 2.0 for the day. So I'm not going to put this up. There's no point in taking risky trades. Today's Monday. As you guys know, Mondays and Fridays are typically the riskier days to trade because a lot of people are re-entering the market on Monday and a lot of people are exiting the market on Friday. So Mondays and Fridays, you want to be a bit careful. And this is no different from it. So with that said, no entry for the breakout 2.0 this morning. We'll be looking for other entries here on the 1 minute. I'll put the requirements for the strategies that we're looking for. So you guys know what strategies we're already applying. It's typically the same thing every single day. So the momentum scalp failure. The second one is a momentum scalp variation. This is the one that I want you guys to take with the, if you guys are taking part in the mentorship, because this is the best entry to take, the middle one. And the last entry is going to be the momentum scalp. So we'll be looking for all three entries right here. And the one that you guys mainly want to focus on if you guys are in the mentorship is going to be this one, because this is the one that I'm personally going to be looking for myself. So I typically don't take the first one here. This is just a confluence confirmation. And then once this plays out, then I look to take this one right here. Okay. So for all these strategies here, first you need to confirm the overall trend. As you guys can see here on the 10-minute, price was bearish. Now it's currently looking bullish because price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green and the pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the 5-minute, you can see the same thing. Price again is above the pivots. Trend meter is green and the pivots are angling up. So with that said, on the 5 and 10-minute, this is in a bullish trend, right? Looking over here on the 1 minute time frame, you're looking at the same thing here. You can see price again is above the pivots are angling up, and the trend meter is green. So with that said, we currently have a bullish trend across the board. So we're probably going to be looking for buys here. The next thing that we need for the momentum scalp failure is we're going to need to confirm a retracement momentum signal, meaning we need a sell signal to come up here to provide a retracement confirmation. And then once we have that, we need to look down on the bottom to see if the volume is going to be below average. So the market's going to open in about 30 seconds, guys. We'll see what the market opens, and then we'll go from there. Let me check the calendar real quick to see if there was any news this morning. There was no news this morning, but there is news coming up right here at 7:30, I believe. Yeah, there's news over here at 7:30. Dallas Fed Manufacturing Index, which is medium impact news. So we're going to have to be careful with that there, 7:30 a.m. So I've marked it up right here. We're going to know to avoid trades around that time. And we're ready to go, guys. Market is now open. So let me go ahead and mark the opening price right here. There goes NYSE open. All right, so price is pushing up right here. It doesn't really matter where price is going because we're still waiting for a confirmation here. So again, as I mentioned, we're looking for these three strategies. These strategies typically come up right after each other. First requirement to look for is the overall trend, which you already confirmed. Everything here is bullish. And we're just pretty much waiting for that sell signal to come up for retracement confirmation. Hey, Song, how's it going? Kenny's asking any news today. So there's news at 7:30, and I think that's about it. Good morning. Morning, Steven. Morning, everybody. Morning, Ruin. Morning, Cern. Morning, everybody. Yeah, and Sisuk also mentioned that this is NFP week. So just keep it in mind, guys. This is a bit of a risky week. It's NFP, first week of February trading. So we do have news coming up across the week. Of course, main news is going to be on Friday, but I think more news is going to pick up tomorrow as well. Yeah, tomorrow we have high impact news. Wednesday we have high impact news. Thursday we have high impact news, and Friday, pretty much every day this week we have high impact news except for today. We have some medium impact news, but we'll see where that takes us. All right, so price is pushing up right here. We're just waiting for a confirmation back down. That's literally all we're waiting for. Steven, if you guys are on the Zoom, Steven said, so sell for breakout. I don't even know where you came up with the sell, Steven. Yeah, so there is no sell for breakout, Steven. I'm not sure we even came up with that. If you guys were in the mentorship yesterday, I mentioned Steven in our group, you know, our guy over here. Yeah, I don't know how you came with the sell, Steven, but everything here is bullish. So we looked at, I looked at everything here. I confirmed that the overall trend is bullish. So I don't know how you came up with the sell. I'm looking for a sell signal, Steve, because, okay. So, yeah, Steve, I think you probably just weren't listening completely when I mentioned it, but I'm looking for a sell signal. So if you look over here at this strategy, I mentioned we look for the overall trend, right? The second requirement is confirm a retracement momentum signal. Retracement momentum signal is to confirm the retracement, right? That's why we're looking for a sell. But we're not looking for a sell. We're just looking for the sell signal to come up, Steven. So definitely don't take a sell, Steven, because we're not looking for a sell here. We're looking for a buy because the overall trend here is bullish. I don't know if you just got it here late, but I already analyzed the breakout. We're not taking the breakout today because there's no confirmation of overall trend. All right, guys. So sorry, don't let that confuse you guys. Steven's asking a question, but his question's like super far off. So we're looking for a buy here, guys. I just want to go ahead and confirm that. You just pay attention to what I'm saying, guys. All right, because Steven, we're looking for a buy here. We're looking for a buy because the overall trend here is bullish. We're looking for a sell signal for this strategy right here. This isn't part of the breakout. This is momentum scalp failure. If you ask some questions, Steven, and it's confusing, I don't purposely mean to do it, but I'm just going to ignore your question, okay? Because I don't want you to confuse people in the group. There's a lot of new people here in the group, and I don't want like your questions to throw people off when we're looking for something that's completely different from what you're asking for. So I'll answer your question like later on, Steven, if it's confusing. But I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Okay, so just to clear everything up, we're looking for a buy here, guys, not a sell. So price is pushing up. I think target price point is going to be the sessions up here. We don't have a confirmation for that yet. So we're basically looking for price to retrace back. Once it retraces back, we can look for entry. Looking over here on the 10-minute, you can see that price is bullish with regard to the trend and with regard to momentum because price is above the pivots. Pivots are angling up and the trend mirror is green. Also, we have a buy momentum right here. So we're obviously looking for a buy here. So going back to the 1 minute, if we get a sell signal here, which might be coming soon, this will confirm retracement. And then from there, we'll be looking for price to swing back up. But there's no breakout for today. There's no entries for us at the moment. We're kind of just patiently waiting for a confirmation here. Hey, John, how's it going? Yeah, Song said he's trying to sell the rip. Yeah, no, definitely. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Hey, Jessica and Song, I see that you guys are on the YouTube. If you guys don't have the Zoom link, it was posted in all the premium groups over here. Here, let me send this over to a couple people here. Looks like some people don't have the links. All right, so prices are tracing down right here. We don't have a sell signal yet, but once we get that sell signal, it'll be a setup for the momentum scalp failure. And then I'll be looking for momentum scalp variation after. All right, so we have a pending sell signal right here. This pending sell signal is going to be the second requirement for the momentum scalp failure. Let's see, D said, what's up, bro? I don't see the link in the Telegram messages. So guys, the link for the Zoom is going to be posted in all the premium groups. It's not going to be posted in the public group. So if you guys are looking for the Zoom link, make sure that you're looking in the proper groups. The groups that have it will be the premium announcements group, premium chat, and the premium trade talk group. So basically these three groups up here. If you guys are in the public group, the Zoom link isn't posted in there. The Zoom link is posted in all the three premium groups. So just make sure that you are part of the premium group. All right. So we're still waiting for the sell signal to come up. The sell signal hasn't come up yet. That's pretty much going to be our confirmation for a momentum scalp here. Or to start off the momentum scalp trifecta over here. Again, guys, these entries come in order. So the first strategy that we're looking to play out is going to be this one right here, momentum scalp failure. Once this here plays out, then I'm going to be looking for an entry on this one. I typically don't take this first one here because this is one of the riskier strategies. The reason why it's riskier is because this is the initial confirmation of the first leg. So if we have the first leg that pushes up, there's usually going to be a second leg and then a third leg to complete it. So I'm not really looking to take an entry off this specific strategy here because this one here, it does hit, but it is a lot riskier compared to the others. So just a matter of patience, guys. Today's Monday, so we're not really expecting too much to happen today. Typically, I don't really take too many trades on Monday or Friday because you're either going to get a really slow market or you're going to get a very volatile market. You kind of want to be somewhere in between, not necessarily too volatile, but you also want it to be not too slow so that it can be some entries. If price starts to continue going sideways right here, then it might set up for a range. But there's no confirmation of that yet, so we're still looking for the second requirement here. Everything here is still bullish. Second requirement, we're looking for a retracement. Let me just check these messages real quick. So guys, I see a lot of side questions over here in my inbox. Let me see if there's anything here that I need. So Cliff is asking, how do I see the indicator on TradingView? Follow directions on the sign up email and it'll tell you exactly how to get access to it. David's asking question, for the one signed up for the first month membership, 1 month membership, are you going to receive the Zoom link? Yeah, the Zoom link. All right, so we're not missing anything right here, guys. The target price point that I marked up earlier is still there. Its price is pushing up to it. I'm just waiting for a sell signal. Once we get a sell signal, we can start looking for entries, but we just don't have that yet. I'm just going to update a couple things here. All right, just got to update a couple of things, guys. Sorry, I know some of you guys are signing back up after taking a little break. So I think some of you guys don't have access to the premium groups. But there's still no sell signal, so there's not really there's not really a setup for us to look at. Here, let me post this link up. people here. So some profits over here from Vincent. So Vincent just he said a bullish analysis push. He basically took this trade here based off my analysis for the buy. And he locked in a total profit of 65.72. Nice work, Vincent. So no official trades yet, but Vincent took this trade based off my analysis. If you guys know how to take trades off my analysis, you guys can. But if not, we're just waiting for these requirements to play out. There's still no sell signal here, so there's no entry for momentum scalp failure. Once we have that, we'll look for an entry. But for the most part, during these live sessions, we are mainly going to be looking for these strategies right here. So if you guys know how to take trades off my analysis, feel free to take them if you like. But keeping to the official strategies here and the official entries, we're mainly looking for one of these strategies here to play out. Some more profits here from Slava. So Slava took the buys to the upside as well. Total profit of 914 off this account. Nice work, Slava. And then his second account over here, locked in a total profit of 1,375. So not bad. But again, guys, just a reminder, there's no official trades yet. So a lot of people here who are taking trades are just taking trades off my analysis. I basically gave my analysis and I said price was likely to go up. And I told people that the target price point was going to be right here, right? So you can see a couple people here taking trades based off that analysis. Slava over here, currently up 900 on this account, 1,300 on this account. Patricia over here as well. She took all these buys. Total profit of 2,410. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Patricia. So once you guys get more comfortable, and this is just to the people part of the mentorship group, once you guys get comfortable in listening to my analysis and understanding where price is going, you guys are welcome to take, these types of trades. But at the moment, I want you guys to just focus on these three strategies right here. Requirements haven't been met, so there's no actual entries for you to take just yet. But they'll come up eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time. It's all about discipline and consistency and pretty much reapplying these strategies whenever they apply or whenever they appear, which they haven't came up yet. Let's see, Jessica said, I don't know how to get to the chats with the Zoom link. Welcome. Including all right, Jessica. Yeah, Jessica said that she doesn't know how to get to the chat. So once you guys sign up to the mentorship program, make sure that you sign up to it. A welcome email will be sent to you, and that welcome email will include the links to all the premium groups. So just make sure that you guys get the links there. All right, so here's the sell signal that we were looking for, guys. The sell signal is currently pending. The problem with this right here is that it's still pretty close to the sessions right here, which is one of the red flags. Sell signal didn't close. So we'll see if this one here does close. If it does close, this will technically be a momentum scalp failure entry. Again, I'm not looking to take that one, but I'll be looking to take the next one to follow, which is going to be the momentum scalp variation. So I'm going to try to go over these requirements really quick because I don't think we'll have too much time in between to really fully analyze everything. So if we get a sell signal right here and the volume is below average, then there's going to be an entry here for momentum scalp failure. However, if this buy entry, or if this buy gets stuck within the sessions over here, there's not going to be an entry because our red flags here, when to avoid trades is whenever price is near any of these horizontal lines. So any of these lines that go left to right, if our price or entry needs to get past those points, we just don't take the trade because this is typically where price gets highly manipulated. You guys will see here, whenever price gets near any of these horizontal lines, price gets kind of manipulated, right? Price will push up, it'll fake out, kind of go sideways, pretty much whenever price gets near any of these horizontal lines. So I typically just avoid trades altogether whenever price gets near these points. So if we get a sell signal and the volume here is below average, it's going to be an entry for momentum scalp failure. For a momentum scalp variation over here, we already confirmed the overall trend is bullish. You can see prices above the pivots. Pivots are angling up and the trend meter is green across the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 10 minute time frames. So with that said, we can confirm that the first requirement's met here. Second requirement is you want to confirm that pretty much momentum aligns, which it does here as well. On the 5 and 10, we have a buy signal across these two. And then going over to the third requirement, you want to confirm retracement momentum signal, which is the sell signal that we're looking for anyways for the momentum scalp failure. So basically, looking down at the momentum scalp variation, everything's going to align, and we're just going to be looking for price to close below the pivots and close back above. That's going to be confirming for the requirements 4 and 5. I know this might be confusing to a lot of you guys who are brand new here, but it'll make sense as you guys continue to sit in on these live sessions, because we look for the same thing pretty much every day. So you'll see that these come in order. We still don't have a momentum scalp failure entry. So with that said, we don't have any opportunity to take a momentum scalp variation yet either. So again, it's just going to be a matter of patience, guys. You just have to wait for these requirements to line up. But once they do line up, you'll be ready to take that entry. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Maddie, for answering those questions. Yeah, so Atapam is asking for the indicators under invite only. There's multiple sections. Yeah, so depending on which strategy you're playing, which obviously you're playing the momentum scalp variation, you want to turn on these indicators here. So indicators for live session. Momentum indicator. This is going to be called the K2 proprietary. Pivots indicator. And trend meter. I think that's about it. Trend meter. And sessions high-low indicator. All right, so these are the indicators that you guys need for the live session. The momentum indicator, that's going to be called K2 proprietary trading system. Pivots indicator, trend meter indicator, and the sessions high-low indicator. Once you guys turn this on, for the trend meter, you want to make sure that you go into your settings and change all of these to chart. So the default settings are going to be 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, and 4 hour, but you want to change all of this to chart. Let's go there to chart, 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 and chart. This is going to give you the trend for this specific time frame. For the pivots, you can leave alone. They're okay as they are. Sessions, when you open the sessions indicator, it's going to look like this with the background checked off. You just want to go into your settings, click background, and it'll clean up your background for you. So it's not all colored in. And for the momentum indicator, I think that's about it. Once you open the momentum indicator here, go to your settings, turn on scalp, and change this time frame to 5-minute and 10-minute. And that's about it. Oh, I'm sorry, and the volume indicator below. All right, so I'm gonna have to create another, I'll create another indicator for that below so that you guys can have it within your invite only scripts. So for the volume indicator, you just go to your indicators, go to volume, type in volume, and then go to technicals right here. It's going to be the one that says just volume by itself. So once you have that indicator right there, it'll come up on your screen right here, your settings here. You just go to style and turn on volume MA, and that's going to put the line in the middle. Thanks, Vince, for the heads up on that one. All right. PC's asking, so for scalp variation after momentum failure, candle has to close below the red pivot. It doesn't have to be below the red pivot. PC can be below any of the pivots. So it just needs to close below any of them. That's going to be the retracement confirmation. And then once it closes back above it, it's going to, yeah, basically what Maddie said, for buy, close above all pivots, and for sell, close below. So it just needs to close in retracement, and then it needs to close right back above it. Yeah, and Patrick also noted the volume indicator is not accurate unless on CME data. So unless you guys are on YM, the volume indicator below is not going to be as accurate. If you're on currency.com or any of the broker related data sets, it's probably not going to be as accurate. So for the most part, if you guys want to just follow along and you guys don't have access to the paid data here, you guys can just follow on my screen here. Question from DD's asking, hey, Sean, does mentorship for the month include access to the live Zoom links? Yes, it does. The mentorship includes everything. So you have access to the indicators, strategies, pretty much everything. Check your email for the welcome email after you signed up, and it'll provide you with the links to get access to all the groups. All right, some more profits over here from Keonia. So Keonia over here also took some buys off my analysis. She locked in a total profit of 63 on this account. And then her second account over here, she locked in 49.20. Nice work, Keonia. So there's no official trades yet, guys, but you guys can see here that, that everyone is still locking in some pretty solid profits. Martha's asking, the quick trade manager is not available on demo. It is. So as long as it's an FTMO account, it's available. Make sure that you're using the proper login. One of the other new members in the group, he used the investor login. So make sure you're using the actual login and not the investor login. Let's see. So D over here said, hey, Sean, got the same as Jessica. I don't see the premium links. Let me see. So let me just check the system real quick, guys. Check. Hey D, so I'm looking at the system. It shows that you didn't sign up for the mentorship. You just signed up for the free intro program. So make sure that you sign up to the actual mentorship, check the email, and sign up for the mentorship program. Once you have that, it'll send you the links. Because I'm looking at your profile right now within the system. It shows that you didn't sign up for the mentorship. You just signed up for the free intro course. Let me check Jessica real quick as well. So guys, there's nothing that you guys are missing right now. Don't worry. I know I'm doing some stuff on the side, but there's nothing that you guys are missing right now. Everything is kind of still pushing up, but there's no retracement. So we're looking for that sell signal here to come up before we can take entry. Jessica, same with you too. I don't see that you've signed up to the mentorship. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe the system isn't updated, but I'm looking over here in the system right now, and it shows that both of you guys have not signed up for the actual mentorship. So when you guys pull up the email, and let me see if I can pull the email up over here. Okay, so I think what happened here, I'm looking over here real quick. This is the welcome email right here, guys. A lot of you guys signed up for just the free intro course, but you guys never went down here and signed up for the mentorship where it says start your mentorship process. You have to make sure that you sign up for this one here. When you sign up for this one, this is where you'll get the link. And then, well, you'll get a welcome email. So after you sign up for this, a welcome email will come to you automatically, and then it'll say, here are your links to join the premium groups. Also, if you guys don't have, if you guys can't find that, or if you guys think you've already signed up, go over to the course. So let me pull up the course real quick. All right, so let me just keep my charts open. I don't want to miss anything here. So if you guys are in the course, let me just pull this up real quick. We have a pending sell signal right here, guys. So if this here closes, this is technically going to be a setup for momentum scalp failure. However, this candle is also touching the sessions. So this is going to be a red flag. When to avoid trades and prices near a session. So you won't be able to take a trade there anyways if it does close at that point. Okay, so here's what the course looks like. If you guys sign into the actual course for the mentorship, if you scroll down right here to Kodi Trades Telegram groups, you click on that there, and it'll provide you the links to all the premium groups up here. So there's two different ways to get access to it. You either go into the actual course, or you check the welcome email, and it'll provide you the link in both of those areas. But I looked into the system, and it doesn't look like D or Jessica that you guys have signed up to it. I could be wrong because the system might need to update still, but from what I can see on my end, I don't see you guys in the system yet. Angela, let me check you. Angela, it looks like, I think you are in. Yeah, so I do see you in the system. So you should be there. Okay, Jessica got it. Yeah, no problem. All right, guys. So this is an entry right here for a momentum scalp failure, but we can't take the entry as I mentioned because it's right at the session. So you can see right here that I just hit full T, or it's about to hit full TP. So this right here is an entry for momentum scalp failure, but the reason why I'm not taking it is because it's right at the sessions. This area is an area of manipulation, so I don't want to get caught in that. But this would have been the entry for this strategy right here, and it just hit full TP. So if you guys took it, great, but it's not one that I would personally take because I would consider it risky. Actually, no, never mind. I take it back. Thanks, Justin, for confirming that the volume was too high. Never mind. So there's no entry here. It looked like an entry, but if you look down at the volume below, it's kind of hard to see. But the volume here was above average. Volume here needs to be below average in order for it to be an entry. So confirmed volume is below average. It was above average. So this here actually would not be an entry. Looks like it would have played out if it did fit the criteria, but it didn't fit the criteria here. So there's no actual entry there. There's a possible entry here for a momentum scalp. However, this whole setup right here is kind of messy because typically these will come right after each other. So even if we get a momentum scalp here, I'm not going to take that one either because usually I'll take it if we have these three confirmations here. If we have the first entry, that's followed by momentum scalp variation and then followed by momentum scalp. But since we didn't have this here play out, it's basically impossible for us to have this one here. So I'm not looking to take any of these here. I'll mark them up for you. There's a possible momentum scalp that's coming up. So you can see it from this gold bar right here. This is going to be an entry for a momentum scalp. We basically skipped over this one, and this is going to be the next entry. But because we didn't have a setup where these follow each other, I'm considering it to be a bit risky because also it's right next to the sessions too. So it's just not a good area to trade where the sessions is currently at. And it's fine if we miss this one because I'm sure another one will come up later throughout the session. So there was no momentum scalp failure here because the volume was above average. There was no momentum scalp variation because price never closed below, or actually, no, it did. So price did close below, and this is the momentum scalp variation. However, it was at the sessions again. So there's actually a couple entries here that came up, but it's right at the sessions. So it's not necessarily a good area to trade in. You guys can see whenever price gets near these horizontal lines, price starts to move a little funky, right? So you can see how price kind of just goes sideways once it gets around this area. And this isn't necessarily an area that you want to be caught in because it's easy for you to get burned. So there's a possible entry here for momentum scalp. If this here closes with the gold bar, if anything, I'll take it for a partial entry, but not the full entry because it doesn't look like it's moving too smooth right now. Again, right there, it didn't close. So without it closing, there's no entry for momentum scalp. Basically, what you're waiting for is for this here to close. If this candle closes with a vertical bar where it's gold or green, then it's going to be an entry for momentum scalp. Looking over here at the requirements, first requirement is to confirm the overall trend. You can see here that it's bullish across the board. It's a bullish bias here on the 10-minute, bullish bias here on the 5-minute, bullish bias here on the 1 minute because price is above the pivots, trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up across the board. So with that said, we have a bullish trend here. We also have bullish momentum because we have a buy signal here, and a buy signal here. The only problem with this entry here that I keep referring back to is that these candles here aren't necessarily closing. You can see how this candle here will come up with the buy signal, and then it'll all of a sudden disappear, right? You don't want to take a trade like that because this can easily just disappear at the last second. You can see that it was very strong earlier, and then now it just disappeared. Whenever you take these entries, you have to wait for the candle to like officially close before taking it. So again, right here, it's another attempt to close with a buy signal. We'll see if it closes. I mean, if it doesn't, then we just got to wait for that retracement to happen again following. Let me go back a little bit. Let me see if there's anything else for me to look at here. So there is nothing here yet. Yeah, there's just nothing here yet for us to take. It looks like there's a lot of open space up here though. So this might be a good possibility for it to push up higher. But yeah, basically right now we're just looking for a buy signal to close up. If a buy signal closes up, it's going to be a momentum scalp entry here. So I'll tell you if I end up taking the trade. If you guys do take this trade here, guys, and you guys are part of the mentorship, the lot size you should be using is 60 lots. TP stop loss is for stop loss versus SL. You should be having 5,000 under where points is on the quick trade manager. And then for the TP, you should be having 1,000 there. Or sorry, not 1,000, 2,500. So again, if you guys are taking this trade here or you plan on taking it for the momentum scalp, I don't recommend you guys take it if you guys are part of the mentorship, because this here is a little bit of a risky move. But if you guys are looking to take this and you guys know what you're doing, lot size you should be using on a 200K account, which should be a 60 lot. That's at 1.5% risk. Stop loss should be set at 5,000 points on the specific toolbar, and then 2,500 for the TP. So you're basically going for 250 pips or 25 points, and then your stop loss is going to be 500 pips or points or 50 points, depending on what you consider it. Yeah, so you guys can see how these candles right here are a little jerky, right? It'll come up with the buy signal and then it'll just disappear. So it's been attempting for the past couple of candles now. It tried down here, it failed, tried down here, it failed, tried down here, it failed, and tried down here again, and it didn't close. So whenever you're looking for this entry, you have to wait for it to actually close. But also due to the fact that it keeps appearing and disappearing, it makes it, somewhat of a risky move. So just got to hold off on that there. I'm probably not going to take the momentum scalp. It's kind of overextended. I'll be looking for the momentum scalp failure to play out next, and I'll just look for the next setup where all of these line up together. So guys, just a reminder, if you guys think you signed up for the mentorship program and you guys don't have links to the Zoom, just go to the course. Let me pull up the course again here. So pull up the course, or just log into the website. So log into the website where you signed up. And this is what the course looks like, right? When you guys go to this course right here, go to the second module right here under getting started, where it says Kodi Trades Telegram groups. Click on that, and then you'll have access to all the premium groups right here. But basically all the groups are going to be posted right here. So if you guys didn't get the email, or maybe your email's in the spam, just pull up the course, and that's where you'll find the links to the Zoom, or not the links to the Zoom, is links to the Telegram groups where you can get access to the Zoom. Alana, I did see you in the group here, so you might be looking in the wrong group, because I did see you join the group here last night. So it looks like Angelo is here. Trent's here as well. Julie's here. Cameron's here. MC's here. Martha's here. Jay's here. This is Allison, actually. I don't see Alana here. So Alana, if you signed up to the program, make sure that you check the course website, and then you'll find the links there. All right, guys, we're still looking for a buy signal here. This still has not closed. Oh, there we go. So this right here would technically be a momentum scalp, guys. I'm not in this position here. As I mentioned, price is a bit overextended, so I'm not looking to take this trade here, but this would technically be an entry for this strategy. I'm just looking for everything to reset. So I'm looking for a momentum scalp failure to play out again. And then I'm looking for a momentum scalp variation to come up after. But right now there's technically there is an entry here for a momentum scalp, and it's currently running. So if you guys want to take that there, feel free to take it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to sit tight, just wait for another setup to play out. I'm looking for these to basically reset and come up with a momentum scalp failure before I look for any entries here, because this signal here just kept appearing and disappearing. So it showed me that volume here is below average, and it wasn't necessarily strong enough to push through. But yeah, if you guys want to take it, you guys feel free. It's not one of the trades that I necessarily recommend any of the people in the mentorship to take, but if you want to take it, go ahead and take it if you feel comfortable, if you guys know the strategies and know what you guys are doing. What I might do here is I'll probably wait and see if it bounces around. If it pushes up, maybe I'll take it for a partial entry, just a quick 100 pips. As it pushes up higher, but I'm not necessarily going to be looking to take the full move here, just because I feel like it's overextended and it's due for retracement. So I'd rather just wait for the retracement, and then when it comes back for the momentum scalp failure here, I'll be looking to take the entry. So there we go. As price pushes up higher, if you guys are in this position, I'll go ahead and mark it up. I'll set an alert over here for the momentum scalp failure, or not, sorry, regular momentum scalp. Because I do think it'll eventually hit. It's just, I want to make sure that I provide you guys with like the highest quality trade, especially for you guys here that are part of the mentorship. But you guys can see that the pattern here is now starting to complete. And then once this pattern here is completed, we'll be looking for it to reset again with another momentum scalp failure. So Steven said, just tell me when to exit, I'm in profit. So when you see the alert here hit TP, Steven, you can exit. Or if you want to exit early, I mean, you can exit early as well. It's just up to your preference. All right, so I took it for a partial move myself. As I mentioned, I was just going for the quick 100 pips. I was trying to get out of the trade, but I guess when it spiked up, it just triggered my TP. So I made like partial profits on it. I didn't take the full entry though. Yeah, so I'm already out of the position, Steven. If you want to get out of it, I mean, you can. It was just a quick 100 pips for me because I'm just going for these speculative moves within it because I didn't have opportunity to enter right away when it closed. I kind of identified it a little late, but I did make like a little bit of profit on it. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit on it. And I'll show you guys my profits shortly, but I'm still waiting. So for my official entries, I'm looking for, or like for my specific entries that I'm trying to provide for you guys, I'm looking for this entry to come up right here. So until we get that set up, there's nothing for us to take right now. All right, Steven, it already hit TP, so you should probably exit the trade. I don't know if it triggered your guys' TP, but it did on my charts over here. If your spread's too wide, and there you go, it just blasted right through it again. So I could have probably held it for the full move, but I didn't. This right here is an example of a momentum scalp full TP. So if you guys took it, you know, great work right there. If you guys didn't, it's okay. You know, just wait for the next entry to come up. So I'll just go ahead and put this right here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Take a screenshot. And if you guys took it for the full move, you either made like about 1,500 pip, or sorry, 1,500 profit. If you used a 100 lot like I did, you made 2,500. I only took it for a partial move here, so I didn't necessarily catch it for the entire move. I'll just be looking for the next entry here to play out. So I'll show you guys everyone's profits. 250 for the momentum scalp. And I just made partial profits on it because I only took it for a partial move because I just entered a little late. It also looked like a bit of a risky move. So I'm looking for another sell signal here. Once we get a sell signal, it'll reset the pattern over here, and we'll be looking for the momentum scalp failure. So again, guys, I'll just go ahead and mark up everything here that played out. So this here was technically, I mean, it would have been a momentum scalp failure, but the volume over here was above average, so it wasn't an actual entry. That's why I was kind of iffy about this whole push up here, because I wasn't sure if the push would complete, because this one actually never closed. The momentum scalp variation came up right after right here. Again, it wasn't one that I would take because of the red flags. It was right at the sessions, although this would have hit full TP as well. And then this right here would have been the momentum scalp. So you guys can see how they come in order, right? Momentum scalp failure, which didn't actually play out. The momentum scalp variation that came up right after it. And then right here, this gold signal was the momentum scalp. So pretty much all of them, if they all lined up together, they all would have hit. I only took this one for a partial move because, you know, obviously I got in kind of late when the candle closed. I didn't realize it closed, and then it was already in profit, so I couldn't take it for the full move. So what happened was I took it for a small profit. So I'll take a screenshot of my accounts over here so far, just to show you guys where I'm currently at. It's just small profits because I did get caught in some slippage as well, so I didn't necessarily lock in as much as I necessarily should have. All right. So here are my profits from that specific trade there. And if you guys didn't take it, it's fine. We're looking for another setup here anyways. That setup wasn't necessarily the cleanest. So I'm looking for another momentum scalp failure to come up. Once it comes up, I'm looking for this momentum scalp variation. And this is the one that I'm really looking to take. And if you guys are part of the mentorship, this is the one that I'm looking for you guys to take as well. Yeah, no problem, D. So yeah, D got in, so that's cool. I got that all set up. Jessica got it. Okay, perfect. Alana got it. Perfect. All right, perfect, guys. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. But yeah, so we're just waiting for a sell signal here to come up, guys. Once we have a sell signal, it'll set up for momentum scalp failure, which you guys can see over here. These are the profits that I locked in off this one trade right here. Locked in 610 off my first account, 660 off my second account, 560 off my MFF number one, 560 off my MFF number two, 560 off my MFF number three, and then 165 off my TFF. They really ripped me off that trade. Let me see what I have. Yeah, they really only gave me $100 off that. It's okay. It happens. Anyways, here are the profits from other people in the group. You guys can see Patrick here took the buy for the momentum scalp, locked in a total profit of 909 for the day. Nice work, Patrick. And then we have Narith over here. Narith locked in a total profit of 4,900 for the day. Nice work, Narith. Solid profit right there. We have Maria over here as well. She took that trade, locked in a total profit of 77 for the day. Nice work, Maria. We have Maddie over here, locking a total profit of 515 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. We got Nathan over here. Nathan locking the total profit of 755. Nice work, Nathan. We got Cameron over here, total profit of 736 for the day. Nice work, Cameron. All right, good profits, guys. We have a pending sell signal here. If the sell signal closes, it'll technically be a momentum scalp failure entry. I'm not looking to take that one. I'm looking for the momentum scalp variation to come up after it. We have Suck over here. Suck locked in a total profit of 802 for the day. Nice work, Suck. All wins, no losses. Great work on that end. See, we have Kip over here, total profit of 2,540 for the day. Nice work, Kip. Maddie over here, 515 on that account. Maddie over here, 515 off this one. Rashida locking a total profit of 420 for the day. All wins right here. Nice work, Rashida. Looks like she took 3 entries. Andreas over here, total profit of 295 on this account. And then he took another trade here, total profit of 450 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Andreas. All right, so you guys can see these are all the people who took the trades that we just went over, that one trade that we marked up. I know I told you guys who are in the mentorship not to take it because it was risky, but you guys can see that if you guys start to feel comfortable about entering these positions, you guys can take them. I'll give you guys the analysis and I'll mark it up, but I'll tell you whether I'm going to be taking it fully or whether I'm going to be taking it partially. I took it partially because I entered late. And that's why I only locked in partial profits. I should have locked in 2,500, but everyone else over here, obviously locked in a lot more than that. Brock over here as well. Brock's currently at 508 for the day. Nice work, Brock. He said done for the day. Tomorrow might be somewhat smoother, but he got his target for the day, so he's taking it. Nice work. All right, and then we have Vincent over here as well. Vincent took the buy too, locking the total profit of 137.33 for the day. All wins, no losses. Nice work, Vincent. Guys, so don't get FOMO about these moves here. There's an entry here for momentum scalp failure, guys. It was right on the dot, but not exactly one that I'm looking for. So we have another entry that might be coming up right after. So we have a momentum scalp failure that's currently running right now. And then we have a possible entry for a momentum scalp variation if it ends up closing above the pivots there. All right, so if this here closes above the pivots, guys, this will be an entry for a momentum scalp variation. We got to make sure that it actually closes above the pivots though. So that's one thing that you guys got to confirm. You have to actually wait for it to close. If it doesn't close above it, then don't take the entry. So we got about 3 seconds here and the candle does close above. So you guys can take this entry here for momentum scalp variation. I'll let this trade kind of play out a bit. The momentum scalp failure just hit full TP. All right, we're pretty much just waiting now for this to play out. So we got 3 different entries currently, or we have the first one already hit full TP. So if you guys took the momentum scalp failure, that one already hit its full TP right there. There's currently a momentum scalp variation that's currently running right now. And then if there's another buy signal that comes up after it, then it's going to be a momentum scalp. You guys can kind of see how price is moving a little bit iffy right now, right? Because price is going into a range. It kind of is retracing back from this big push right here. So price kind of pushed up, went sideways, and then we're basically just waiting for another buy signal to come up. But there's currently a momentum scalp variation that's currently running. There was a momentum scalp failure that came up earlier, and then now there is a, or sorry, was there something wrong with this one, CC? For the momentum scalp failure? Because it looks fine to me. Volume here is below average. Sell signal, I think everything here is bullish, right? Yeah, so I think everything here, I mean, looks fine to me. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I'm missing. So let's see, for CT, he said he had volume right at MA. Yeah, maybe when the candle closed, it wasn't exactly at point, but I don't know, looking back at it here, I could just replay it. Let me see. So when we're playing it right here, CT, when the candle closed, it looks like it's fine to me. I just rewinded it to like right when this candle closed. It was like close to it, but it was still below it. That's why I kind of marked it up from that point there. So yeah, sometimes you're going to get close calls like this, guys, like what we have here for the momentum scalp failure. Sometimes it'll close like that. That's why I usually don't like to take it, because sometimes it'll be like really close to it. So I think if you're going over going strictly by the requirements, it would fit criteria. But I mean, depending on how you would have set it up, right? Some of you guys might have not have considered it a good trade. Some of you guys might have considered it a good trade. So it's just really up to preference. But I mean, technically, yeah, the trade does fit criteria for momentum scalp failure. So I'll just leave that up right there. Currently have another trade running right now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just go ahead and take a screenshot of this real quick so I can make sure that I get everything down. And I'll put everything back up in a second. So I'm in this position with you guys for the momentum scalp variation. I know it's a bit of a risky entry because it kind of bounces back and forth. But you know, sometimes you're going to get entries like that. So this right here, I'm just going to put this up as the momentum scalp failure. And you guys just have to understand that sometimes you're going to get risky entries. Not all your entries are going to hit. As long as you're using proper risk per trade, you should be fine. Because you guys should be able to eat a loss here and there and then bounce back from it on the next entry. So just keep that in mind for these specific entries here. We also, let me see, there's news coming up in about 10 minutes. So this is where it's starting to become a little more risky, because as we get closer to news price, you're going to start to get a lot of weird movement, a lot of pre-market news coming out. Or not really pre-market news, but pre-market movement. So right here, we have the Dallas Manufacturing Index. It's medium. I'm expecting this news here to be negative. So it's going to be a bit of a toss-up to see where price ends up going. But yeah, I mean, we'll see where it ends up pushing around here. Let's see. So we do have news coming up in about 10 minutes, guys. So what I might do is if price does swing back up, I might have to pull early because I don't want to have to hold on to it while, you know, as we get closer to news. So I'll see where price ends up pushing from here. But, you know, if I do end up pulling it early, I'll let you guys know. I forgot we had news coming up here at 7:30. So you guys can see how price is kind of moving a little weird. Before over here was pushing up like perfectly, right? Price is just going up. We're tracing a little bit, pushing up higher. But now that we're getting close to news, you can see that price is now like literally just going sideways at this moment. So it's not exactly a good look right now for any position, whether you're looking for a buy or a sell, because it looks like a lot of people are just pulled out of the market right now. They're waiting for the news to pass right here at 7:30. So I mean, we'll see where this ends up going. But I'll try to let you guys know, you know, if I end up I'm probably going to end up pulling early, guys. So just give you guys a heads up. If this pushes back into profit, I'll probably be ended up pulling out early in profit because we do have news coming up shortly. So let me just clean this up right here. Or I guess I could leave that up for now. 7:20, we got 10 minutes till news. News is coming up at 7:30. And the volatility is like died down completely. All right. The volume, yeah, the trading volume here has just pretty much died down a bit, guys, because a lot of people are just pulling out before news happens because they don't want to get caught in price when price starts to move around kind of weird when news comes out, because it is high, it's medium impact news, but anything above low is going to be considered high to me. Even low impact news tends to affect the market pretty heavily. So this specific entry that's currently running right now is not, I wouldn't consider it a good entry because of the news price. So if this ends up hitting my stop loss, it's completely fine, right? You just got to eat the loss sometimes and then move on to the next one. Usually these entries don't hold on for this long. You guys can see that this entry has been running for about like 7 minutes now. Typically, you're going to like hit your TP or your stop loss like right away. But this right here is kind of just lingering because we do have news coming up right here shortly. So let me look on the higher time frames. Higher time frames look pretty bullish over here. So it does look pretty, I mean, it still looks pretty good overall, but the way that price is currently moving right now, a lot of people are kind of just sitting out for news to pass, which unfortunately I'm kind of trapped in this position right now. I was trying to get out early, but I'm holding on to it. So I'm still holding on to it. I'm hoping it starts to push up before news happens, but if it ends up coming down and hitting my stop loss, it's completely fine. You know, as long as you guys are using proper risk, you guys should have no problem with eating a loss and moving on to the next one, because these entries here are for 2 to 1. So like realistically, if you lose one trade, you just need to win 2 more to bounce back from that. And it's not too difficult to hit 2 more, right? Because we still have a whole week ahead of us. It's Monday today, so we have 4 more days ahead of us. But yeah, as it gets closer to news price, it's not looking as good as we would have wanted it to. Yeah, Maddie said he's still trapped in it. I'm still trapped in it as well. So it's okay. I'm leaving it as is though. So I have my TP stop loss set up. If it hits my stop loss, that's completely fine. I'm going to eat that. And then I'm going to move on to the next one because we're just, yeah, I hit my stop loss. So unfortunately I hit stop loss on this one, guys. The other one hit my TP. So I'm still like slightly in profit, or not. I'm slightly in the negative because the win from earlier offset the loss, but I did eat a loss on this trade. So this is going to count as a loss right here for momentum scalp variation. Unfortunately, we got caught really close to news price right here. Typically, I don't like trading 10 minutes before news and 10 minutes after because you start to get weird movement like this. I wouldn't be surprised if news happens over here and price ends up spiking all the way up. But sometimes you just get caught in trades like that. So I ate the loss on that trade. I'm waiting for the next one here. And then on the next one, I'm going to be looking to bounce back from it. So it's all good. So this right here, we're now looking for the next entry that would come up would be momentum scalp, but you got to wait until after news passes. So wait until the news passes over here at 7:30, and then we'll start looking for some more entries after it. But right now, we just got to sit tight on this because this is obviously not going to be a good time to enter trades. So just wait for this to pass through. I'll leave this marked up here so that you guys can see it as we follow through. But we are counting this as a loss here. So let me go ahead and just put that loss there. And I think this is the first loss in a while, right? Because we didn't have any losses last week or any losses the week before. Let's see. So guys, just make sure that you use proper risk, right? So I just got a message from Zach over here. Zach said he used like 3%. That's a big risk to be taking on that there, Zach. But it's fine. 3% is not a deal breaker. But like what I was saying before, guys, so before we took these trades here, I mentioned if you guys are using a 200K account, either use a 60 lot or a 100 lot like I am. If you're using a 100 lot, you would have risked 3% on this. But if you're only using a 60 lot, you would have risked 1.5%. So depending on what lot size you use, you can't just bank on every trade to win, okay? Because sometimes trades you're going to lose, like this one here. But a lot of this stuff here was something that was out of our control. We'll wait until the news passes right here, and I wouldn't be surprised if this spikes all the way back up and goes straight to TP. Yeah, Dejan said he only lost 1.2%, which is perfectly fine. As long as you guys stay within the parameters, you guys should be completely fine. That's going to be the key thing for you guys, right? To make sure that you guys stay within the parameters. So let me just put this over here. Scale variation. Breaking news movement. All right, so I just want to be transparent with you guys. So we have 3 entries that came up today. First one over here is the momentum scalp that hit full TP. So if you guys took this for a full TP, which I didn't, you guys would have made about 1.5% on this trade or 0.75, depending on your lot size. So like I was mentioning before, depending on which one you're taking, guys, if you're using a 60 lot or 100 lot, stick to that lot size. Because if you guys keep changing between 60 and 10, you're not going to have consistency across your profits and losses. So just breaking it down right here, if you guys took this first trade and you took it for the full move and you took it for a 100 lot, you would have made a 1.5% gain on this. And then for the second trade over here, if you took the momentum scalp failure for this one as well, you would have had another 1.5% gain. So if you had a 1.5% gain on this and 1.5% gain on this, but you had a 3% loss on this one, then you would have been at break even, right? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch this one right here, so I couldn't offset my profits. However, I did take partial moves on this one, so I was able to offset some of my profits from this loss over here. So realistically, I need like one more win. I need like one more, maybe like 1.5 wins to make back my loss from this one right here. And I'm pretty sure this is probably going to spike back up. You guys can see how the price is moving right here. We have news coming up in about 3 minutes. I'm going to see if it ends up shooting back up, which I do think it will. However, even though I do think it's going to come up, guys, I don't recommend that you guys FOMO into this move here. If you guys ate the loss, just take the loss and move on to the next one. But don't FOMO into this next move here. We have news coming up right here in about 2 minutes. We'll see if price ends up spiking all the way back up, which I do anticipate. But we'll end up seeing where this plays out shortly. So here's some profits here from Joe. Joe locked in a total profit of 222 for the day. Nice work, Joe. Off that one right there. Ross over here locked in a total profit of 8,590 for the day. Nice profits there, Ross. He traded gold and traded US30 this morning. So solid wins there across the board. We have Karen over here, total profit of 960 for the day. Nice work, Karen. And then we have Patrick over here, took a loss on that last trade. Yeah, so Patrick over here said ate that loss too, but only at 1.5% loss for the day. Yeah, which is solid. Your main goal is to stay below 5%, right? If you go anywhere near or above 5%, you're going to blow your FTMO account. So just make sure that you guys stay on track with these entries here. We have another possible entry here for momentum scalp coming up, but it's right at news price, so not one that I would necessarily take. Got to wait for news price to pass. I know it's not on the red flags anymore, but typically we want to wait, a few minutes before and after news before entering trades. So you can see right here that this was just a manipulated push down. It was just movement due to pre-news. Unfortunately, we got caught in it. I didn't think it was going to take this long for it to kind of bounce around, but as you can see here, price is coming right back up. And this will be a setup for momentum scalp, but I'm not looking to take that entry there because we do have news right here on the next candle. So I'm going to sit out on this right here. Just going to wait for it. And then going to take the next one that pops up. So here goes the news candle right here. This is a momentum scalp entry. Not one that I'm taking, obviously, because there's news. It's on the news candle. You got news right there. So basically, in order for us to take more entries, we need price to push above it and looking for that retracement. So I don't recommend people take this trade. I'm just marking it up for you guys to see. But the reason why we're not taking this trade here is because this is a news price right here. So again, looking at the red flags, when to avoid trades when price is near news price, which this candle is directly on it, where that pink line's at. News was positive. Thanks, Peter, for confirming that. Yeah, news is positive over here. So last month it was negative 20. This month it's still negative, but it's better than expected. They were expecting to be negative 11, but it was negative 8.4. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wait. We're going to wait for another entry to come up. There's no entries for us to take right now. We're now looking for a momentum scalp failure to line up again. Once this comes up, we'll look for another entry after it. And then once we have that other entry, we'll look for the momentum scalp to follow that as well. Keonia said, I want a shirt you have on, Sean. It'd be my daily training shirt. Yeah, no, definitely. You know, once I order some more shirts, guys, these are just sample shirts that I ordered from a new manufacturer. Once we have new shirts in, I'll post them up on the website and on the page so that you guys can get some. I just wanted to see if these shirts would come out good quality, and they did. So I'll probably order some more later. Anyways, guys, there's no entries for us to take right now. We're still looking for a confirmation here. Looking over here, everything's still bullish. We're still looking for buys. The only problem here is that we're looking for new price to kind of get away from this news candle here. So even if we were to get a buy at any point here, it would still be an issue because there's still a news price like right there, right? So even if we were to take a buy at some point here, it would have to be away from where news is currently at. Let's see. The news is right here, guys. So Camo's asking what news. I don't see it on the site. I use 2 different sources for news. I use Forex Factory. That's one of the main ones. And then I also use my FX book. So there was news right here at 7:30. It was medium impact news, Dallas manufacturing, Fed index. That was one that just passed right here at 7:30. So this right here is another momentum scalp failure, guys. But it's kind of close to news right now, so I'm still not looking to take anything at the moment. Meaning it's too close to news candle. News came up right here at 7:30, and it's only 7:33 right now. So price is still reacting to news. So I'm not necessarily looking to take any entries at the moment. Once it pushes away or once enough time passes, I'll start looking for entries again. Right now, you don't want to take anything because you don't want price to be reacting to news, and then it ends up going opposite of your position. So this technically would have been a momentum scalp failure. But since it's so close to news, I'm not looking to necessarily take it, you know, right now specifically. So we'll wait for this to kind of play out a little bit. So I'm not in this position. I'm just going to take it off so you guys don't think I'm in it. But yeah, Maddie said might make its way back to news price. Yeah, I think target price point would be news over here. But I need to wait for price to stabilize after news right here because news just happened about 4 minutes ago. Yeah, exactly, Cliff, 100%. So the 2 websites, again, guys, just a reminder that I use for news will be Forex Factory. You go to calendar here, and it'll pretty much mark up all the news, economic news that's to come up. And then sometimes there's going to be other news events here that are on my FX book that aren't showing up on Forex Factory. So the other news coming up for today is going to be at 8:30. So that's perfectly fine because that's pretty much after our live session. Our live session is running from 8 until 8 o'clock. So by 8 o'clock, this is no longer going to be part of the our training session. So pretty much no more news from now until 8. I'm just hoping we get a push back up before then, but the way that the market's moving right here, it's kind of slow. Everything's still bullish though. So looking over here on the higher time frames, the 1 hour here is bullish. You can see prices above the pivots. Pivots are angling up. Trend meter is green. Looking over here on the 30-minute, same thing. Price again is above the pivots. The trend meter is blue right now, but it's set to turn back to green, within the next candle or so. 10-minute over here is still bullish. Price above the pivots. Trend meter green. Pivots angling up. And back to the short term over here. Price is still also bullish. So it's bullish here on the 10-minute, it's bullish here on the 5-minute, and it's neutral right here on the 1, but we'll see if price ends up swinging back up. I think eventually it'll come back up. It's just gonna be a matter of time until it does. So just looking at today's market movement, guys, this is what I mean about Monday being a risky day, right? You guys can see how there's no like clear direction. Price is kind of just going back and forth, right? Like, so anyways, market open right here at 6:30, price pushed up, went sideways for a bit, pushed up again, went sideways for a bit, pushed up again, went sideways for a bit, but there wasn't really a consistent push up, right? Typically when you see market move, you want price to be moving directional. So you want price to push up, retrace, push up, retrace, push up. That's typically the direction that you want to see price go. For example, right here, price kind of pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back a little harder, pushed up super hard, and then now it's pulling back really hard. So there's no clear direction right now as price continues to, obviously bounce around. A correction back to the upside would be ideal, but for the most part right now, it's not necessarily looking like it's going to be that clear of a move. So that's why Mondays are considered one of the riskier days. Mondays and Fridays are the riskier days. I typically become a little careful. I become more careful than usual on Mondays and Fridays because typically you'll get a lot of movement like this. You can see the market open here at 6:30. You had this big bullish push because a lot of people were entering from the weekend, right? Typically what happens is a lot of people close their positions over the weekend and then they reopen them on Monday. So that's why Fridays are risky because people are exiting the market, and Monday market's risky as well because people are re-entering the market. So you get a lot of like increased volatility. You can see the big price movements right here, big wicks on both of the opening candles, and then price just started to correct its stride to the upside. But right now there's just nothing for us to take. So there's now looking over at the overall direction of trend. The 1 minute here is now bearish, or I mean it's neutral, but it's starting to turn bearish because price is now below the pivots. Looking over here on the 5 and 10, price is still technically bullish on these two here. There's a pending sell signal on both the 5 and the 10. So we got to make sure to look out for that, because if this ends up closing with the sell signal, then there's no longer going to be an alignment of momentum. See, we have a couple more profits over here from, let's see, Barack. So Barack over here took another trade for the buy earlier. So it looks like he took the buy earlier, but then he pulled out earlier. So what happened was Barack took a partial move of the trade that we end up losing on, the momentum scalp variation, and then he ended up closing early. So Barack actually got in and out very quickly once he started to realize that price was turning around, and then he locked in a total profit of 602 for the day. Nice work, Barack. All right, let me just go over here real quick. Yeah, no, it's fine. Dijon over here also ate the loss of me earlier. Here's Jay's profits for the day. Jay took some buys earlier this morning. Total profit of 577 for the day. Nice work, Jay. Yeah, Dijon said I'm calling it a day, so I don't risk anymore. See you all tomorrow. Definitely, Dijon. Yeah, if you guys are not feeling comfortable about taking any other positions because if you guys ended up on that last trade, it's fine to take the day off, guys, because we have a whole week ahead of us. It's only Monday. So the last thing you guys want to do is continue trading if your mindset isn't there. Trade psychology is like one of the biggest things here. If you guys are not 100% there, it's not going to be a good decision to continue trading. I'll still be on here looking for trades, but it is 7:40 right now. So if we don't have anything come up in the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to wrap this up. which is completely fine. Let's see if we have tomorrow. So tomorrow we have news in the morning. We have employment cost index at 5:30 pre-market. We have HPI at 6, S&P CS composite 20 HPI at 6 o'clock as well. At 6:45 we have Chicago PMI. And then at 7 o'clock, we have CB consumer confidence. So we have a lot of news tomorrow, a lot of inflation news, a lot of economic news, pre-market and early in the session. This could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. It could be a good thing because it's going to cause volatility and push price around. However, it could be a bad thing because this might cause a lot of uncertainty in the market with a lot of news events coming up right after each other. Market will open at 6:30. And then we'll have some news at 6:45, medium impact Chicago PMI, basically inflation news. And then when it's 7 o'clock, we have CB consumer confidence as well. So we have a lot of high impact news coming up tomorrow, but then it might be a good thing. It might push price in one direction. Looking over here on Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change at 5:15 pre-market. We have final manufacturing PMI at 6:45, and then we have ISM manufacturing PMI, job openings at 7, construction spending, ISM manufacturing prices, and awards total vehicle sales. So we got a lot of news coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, we have a lot of high impact news as well. We have unemployment claims at 5:30, prelim non-farm productivity at 5:30, and then prelim unit labor costs at 5:30 as well. We also have factory orders at 7, and then we have natural gas storage at 7:30. And that's pretty much it for Thursday. Friday, of course, can be the biggest day. We have NFP, which is non-farm employment change or non-farm payroll. Basically, NFP is going to be like one of the biggest days. It's like one of the biggest manipulated days of the month. That happens the first week of every month. Basically, they're going to be releasing the unemployment rates, the non-farm employment change, basically people who are getting hired, people who are getting fired, getting laid off, etc. Since we are going through a recession, you're going to see these numbers be kind of big. It's going to be high, like extremely high impact as we get closer and deeper into the recession, because more people are going to get laid off, and then it's not going to be good for the economy. So this whole week is basically NFP week. We have a lot of high impact news. Today was kind of a iffy day, a lot of back and forth movement here. You can see that most of the movement happened earlier in the session. And then it starts to die down over here as we got closer to news at 7:30. So we are going to be holding off, or I mean, there's just nothing for us to take right now. So if there's any other questions that you guys have, guys, just go ahead and put them in the chat. I think this is the best time for me to answer any questions that you guys have. Just a reminder, we are having our mentoring session later at 2 o'clock. So if you guys have any detailed questions, it's probably the best time to ask there so that I can go over it in detail and we can go over some of the requirements for these strategies here. A question from Jessica. Jessica's asking, were there any trades that the mentorship people should have taken? The one trade that you guys should have taken would have been the momentum scalp variation, but that would have been a loss, unfortunately. So if you guys didn't take it, it's completely fine. I took it myself, so I'm going to eat that loss, move on to the next day, and then bounce back from it. I did have that win earlier though, so it offset the loss. I lost partial loss on that trade, but it wasn't necessarily it wasn't a full entry. So it didn't cut off my losses by like half the move. Because technically, if I held that trade for the full move, the first one over here, Jessica, I would have locked in 2,500. Since this trade was a partial move, I only locked in 610. So very like small portion of what I was supposed to lock in, which is completely fine. But we will be looking for another entry if it comes up, but I don't think we're going to be having one. So the only entry that we took, Jessica, or that the people in the mentorship should have taken would have been the one that lost here, unfortunately. So there's other entries that came up here. There was a momentum scalp failure. This one, or this was a momentum scalp. This is the one that I took that hit some profit on my end. And then there's also this momentum scalp failure that I didn't take because I typically don't take that first one, but the one that I did take with you guys here actually lost, which was the momentum scalp variation, which is fine because with the risk that you're taking, you're doing a 2-to-1 risk. So like, even though you have one loss here, you just need 2 more wins to bounce back from it, which I'm pretty sure we'll have at least 2 more wins in the next couple of days. It's only Monday, so we have 4 days to trade. Typically, we'll have about like 1 to 2, maybe sometimes 3 trades a day, depending if these setups here play out. And if we do have those, then you just need 2 trades to bounce back from it. So just 1 trade there for the mentorship people, if you guys are in it. And it's all good. It's early in the week, so this is going to knock out our losses for the week, and we'll just pretty much go forward from there. Let's see, we have Maria over here. So Maria locked in, or she took the trade earlier as well. So unfortunately, she took a loss on that one. I'm looking at your profits over here, Maria, and they're like very different. So with these here, are you going for a smaller move, or did this was just this one just a lot of slippage? Because I'm looking over here real quick. Let me just divide it. Because if you're doing a regular 2-to-1, okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I think what you need to do moving forward, Maria, is you're going to have to let the trades actually play out, right? Because well, I mean, this is fine for now. Like it's fine because I know that this doesn't happen to you very often, but I'm just warning, like for like in the future, if this keeps happening, it's going to keep offsetting the losses, but it's not going to be enough to offset it where it ends up breaking even, right? Because if I'm not sure if these here you ended up taking them and just pulled early, or if you took them and then you purposely pulled early, like if you entered late. If that was the case, then it's fine. But I think if you just pull these early and they still went to full TP, then you would need to you need to let these run so that you can have this offset with this loss here. But it's okay. I mean, it happens every once in a while. It's not a typical thing for you. But yeah, moving forward, I think probably letting them run to full TP would be better. Natasha over here as well. Let's see, Natasha took a loss on that one too. Yeah, it's all good. So Natasha over here, I'm looking at yours too, Natasha, and your loss here was like really big compared to your others. So I see here that you made like 7, so this is the same thing here, Natasha, that I was just referring to with Maria. I'm not sure if you cut out of these trades early, like on purpose, or if you just entered these trades late. Because it seems like this here is like a big loss compared to everything else, right? Like you have a couple wins here. Your win should be half of your loss here. So I think you should have had, or either you just let this one run for too long. But, you know, I do like your transparency here. I do appreciate that you're being transparent with your trades, but just looking at your loss here compared to your wins, it should have been offset by at least a little more, right? Like this looks more like it. I think this one over here looks fine, but I don't know for this one right here. I don't know if you just let this trade run a little too long, because that's what it kind of seems like for this one specifically. Because this one here, you lost 200, but you made 150 on this one. So this is fine, because if you made 2 trades here, you would have offset this one. But for this one right here, you lost 700. So I'm assuming you either put your stop loss like super far out, or I mean, your lot sizes are the same, so it should be around the same amount. Yeah, Natasha, I mean, I guess we could talk about that. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, so Natasha said she's not letting them hit TP. Yeah, so if you guys ever feel nervous about a position, guys, just don't take it, right? If like whenever you take a trade, you got to make sure that you're fully confident with these entries here. So like with Natasha here, she said that she's not letting her trades hit TP. So she's locking in like small profits here, like $7.33, but then she's taking like big losses here. This is not how you guys want to end up, because if you keep taking these small wins here, you know, you're never going to recover from this, right? So if you let all your trades hit and they all go up to like 200, 300 profit, then it would make sense, because you can have like one loss and then you can bounce back on the next one. So just make sure that you guys are using proper risk for all your trades. And I'm looking at your lot sizes here too, Natasha. They're all like different, right? So make sure that you're linear with your lot sizes, because I can see your lot size here went from like 250. I can see why your profits were small in that one. But these over here are like big differences. You go from like 1250 to 20. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you guys have any questions regarding that, you know, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I want to make sure that you're all on the same page, so that you guys aren't either over leveraging. Because if you guys look at all my trades here, they're all the same lot size. I always use 100 lot because I'm confident with my moves here. But you shouldn't be switching between like 100 lot and a 50 lot, and then you use like the same TP stop loss. The only time you should change is if you're using a different TP stop loss. See. Yeah, so Christian over here took the loss as well, completely fine. Move on to the next one. So Christian over here, looking at his loss, he used proper risk. So you can see he was at 30 lot size right here. So he only lost about this much profit, or this much of a loss. So the thing with Christian here is that he's using proper lot sizing. So when he takes the next trade, he's going to be able to bounce back, and he'll make 750 on the next one. And then he has one more trade after that, and he'll make it right back into profit. So solid one right there. Let me see the other questions here real quick. So I'm getting a lot of questions, guys. So I need to make sure that I can cover everything here. Let me scroll up real quick. D's asking, can you have another mentoring session after 4 p.m. for the people with a day job? Yeah, sure, D. So we can't have one today, but we'll have one another day. So let me know what day works for you guys. For a lot of you guys here who can't make it to the regular mentoring session, guys, just let me know what day works best for you guys. And then I'll try to set up a mentoring session with you guys for that day. I think Tuesday would probably be the next best day to have it. So if you guys can tell me what time works on Tuesday for you guys, we can have it at either 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., one or the other. That will, I'll set up a poll. So just give me a day and time. I think Tuesday, 4 or 5 p.m. will work for me. So if any of those times work, let me know and I'll put up a poll in the chat and then we'll just have people vote on it. So on that specific day, we'll have that session. Scrolling down further. Yeah, Sam said his price turning around now. Let me take a look. So everything here is still bullish, right? Looking over here where price is currently at, it's still bullish. So the 10-minute here is bullish, the 5-minute here is bullish, and the 1-minute here is still bullish. So you can see that price is now correcting back up to where it was supposed to be. Target price point, if price does correct back up, is going to be back to where it was earlier. So this is where price was before news. News ended up happening and pushed price down. So if price was to correct back up, we'd be looking for price to come back above here. But the 1-minute over here is still not confirmed. So a question from Alana as well. Alana's asking, do you short or do you take long trades? I take both sides, Alana, depending on where the trend's going. So like if you look at the requirements here, you have to confirm the overall trend, right? So if the overall trend here is bearish, then I'm going to be looking for sells. If the overall trend here is bullish, then I'm going to be looking for buys. So I trade both directions. Right now, we just don't have a direction. So there's nowhere for us to really look at. The 10-minute here is bullish. So obviously we'd be looking for buys here. 5 minutes bullish as well. So we'd be looking for buys here. However, over here on the 1-minute, you can see that price is still below the pivots. The trend meter is red and the pivots are still angling down. So with that said, we don't have a confirmation of overall trend. So at the moment, I don't have a direction set right now. I'm not looking for either buys or sells because I don't have, we just don't have a confirmation of direction here. If this was above the pivots, so say, for example, if price pushed above here and closed above the pivots, then price would be bullish, right? And if it was bullish, then I'd be looking for buys because I'd be anticipating price to continue to the upside. So for right now, specifically, there's no direction or price because they're opposite right now. The 1-minute here is for a sell, while the 5-minute and 10-minute here is for a buy. Unless this comes down. So there's a couple of things here that can play out, two different scenarios. If price continues to drop from this point and the 5-minute over here closes below the pivots and the 10-minute does the same, right? The 10-minute also closes right here below the pivots. Then in this situation, you would be looking for a sell, but we just don't have that confirmation yet. It's also getting close to 8. So 8 o'clock is usually the time that I cut off from trades. So if we don't get a confirmation by 8, which I highly doubt we will, because this 10-minute candle here has about 6 minutes left on it till 8. And in order for us to have an entry, price either needs to be below here or above here, right? And I'm not expecting price to be in any of these areas within the next 6 minutes. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue answering the questions here, and then we will move forward with the session. So let me scroll up real quick. Question from Steven. Steven's asking, Sean, can you analyze gold? So I can analyze gold, but I don't think you should be trading gold, Steven, because I already know how you trade. And gold is definitely not the asset that you specifically should be trading, because I know you like to gamble a lot, and it's probably not going to be the best decision for you to trade that. But so how do you want me to analyze it, Steven? Do you want me to analyze it in the short time frames or the higher time frames? I guess I can do all of them real quick. So let's just go over here real quick. I'll go from the higher time frames. We'll do from a top-down analysis, looking over here on gold. But again, I don't think this is an asset that you should be trading, Steven, because I know you like to gamble and you kind of like to take the easy way out with things, but taking the easy way out isn't necessarily the best way. So looking at this right here, you can see that the 1 hour is currently bearish. The reason for that is because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. So right here on the 1 hour, price is bearish. Here on the 30-minute, price is also bearish because price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. with the pivots angling down. Lastly, here on the 10-minute, you can see that price is also bearish. So on these higher time frames over here, this looks bearish across the board. So if you're looking for a longer term move, you probably will be looking for a sell. Going down to the lower time frames now, I'm going to go ahead and adjust this. The lower time frames right here are also bearish. You can see the 10-minute right here is currently below the pivots. Trend mirror is red, and the pivots are angling below. We have a pending sell signal here. It hasn't closed yet. It has 4 minutes left on it. But if this does close, this will technically be considered, a sell for what we're looking for here. Also looking here on the 5, we're also looking for a sell here as well because price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red, and the pivots are angling down. And then lastly, here on the 1 minute, you can see that price is currently bearish at the moment, right? So you're obviously looking for sells here. If you're applying the momentum scalp failure, you're looking for a buy signal to come up here. And then when price comes back down, you'll be looking to take a sell from that point, right? So you're basically looking for sells here, but you're looking for the criteria to align. The same strategies that I was applying for US30, you can apply them for this as well. So momentum scalp failure, in order to have that, you're looking for a buy signal to come up. But again, guys, I don't think gold is really a good asset for a lot of people to trade unless you really know how it moves. I think gold is probably one of the hardest assets to trade because it's so choppy. If you guys look at the charts here, there's no clear direction. Price kind of just goes back and forth very often. So you have to be consistently and constantly reviewing the analysis to make sure that you know you're trading in the proper direction. Yeah, Shannon said, I feel you on gold. It's my favorite pair for 6 years, but US30 moves better. I agree with you 100%, Shannon. Yeah, gold isn't necessarily one of the smoother pairs to trade, so it's not one of the pairs I recommend beginners trade. I know it does move smooth sometimes, but for the most part, it's super choppy, like where it's currently at right now. So yeah, if you're looking for a trade here for gold, Steven, I would be looking for a sell within the short term and medium term movement. I looked up until like the 1 hour time frame, everything looks bearish. So obviously you should be looking for a sell if you were to look for a trade here. But you do want to be careful with the entries that you decide to take. Let me scroll up real quick. I want to make sure if there's any other questions I'm missing here. Martha's asking, can you go over how to turn on the gold bars in the momentum indicator? Yeah, Martha. So in order to turn on the gold bars over here, you need to open your settings for the momentum indicator. You'll go to inputs right here. Typically, your indicator won't have this enabled. So you just need to go over here and turn on scalp. Once you turn on scalp, you want to set your time frames to the 5 minute and the 10 minute. This is for the scalping here that we're doing on the shorter time frame. So if you want to set it up like how I have it here, just go to your settings, turn on scalp, turn these on, and then turn this one on as well. Multiple time frame signal, turn on the gold signal. And then once you have that set up, it'll turn on your gold bars for you. Yeah, no problem, Martha. Question from David. David's asking, are existing Kodi Kai members included in the mentorship? I don't remember getting an email. I mean, the mentorship's nothing different from the regular group mentoring sessions, David. So, I mean, if you're attending the sessions, then that's completely fine. The links for the Zoom are going to be posted in the group. So if you see the links posted up, you can go ahead and join them. There's nothing different going on with the mentorship, guys. With the mentorship, I'm just basically having everyone focus on like 1 or 2 strategies, and that's pretty much it. But if you guys are already in the group, I mean, you guys are familiar with the strategy, so it's not like anything's brand new to you. You guys are able to sit in on the Zoom sessions though. So it's really up to you guys if you guys want to sit in on them. If you guys don't already attend the mentoring sessions, it's not really going to make a difference because that's the only thing that's really being emphasized, the mentoring sessions, so that I can help you guys, iron out the details that you guys need help with. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, it's about to be 8 o'clock right now. So it looks like this is the end of my live session for the day. Unfortunately, we didn't have as smooth as a day as I would have wished for. Today is Monday, so I was kind of expecting the market to be choppy. Looking over at the trades that we covered from today's session, we had basically 3 trades come up today, right? So we had the first trade over here, which is the momentum scalp. I took this trade with you guys. This one hit full TP right there for 250 pips or a 1.5% gain, depending on what lot size you were using. This one over here, the momentum scalp failure, also hit TP. It wasn't one that I recommended, but it did hit TP there. And then the stop loss hit over here for the momentum scalp variation. So we had 2 wins and 1 loss today for today's session. For the one main trade that I recommended you guys take if you guys are part of the mentorship, this one here did lose, but it's perfectly fine. If you guys use a proper lot size, you'll bounce back from that loss either tomorrow or the next couple of days, because we do have 4 days ahead of us. And we just need 2 wins basically to offset that trade, which is not too difficult. You know, we typically have about 3 trades that come up together. So it's just going to be a matter of being patient and waiting for the next entries as we continue on with this week. So other than that, I think that might be it for this session. Just a reminder, guys, I'll be having my group mentoring session today at 2 p.m. So if you guys can attend that, you know, come with questions, because if you guys are new and you guys are not familiar with anything, just come through with questions to that session, and then I'll answer whatever questions you guys have. If you guys want me to go over examples for the strategies, I can go over examples. If you guys want me to show you how to do certain things on your platforms, you know, just feel free to hop onto that mentoring session and I can answer whatever questions you guys have. Otherwise, I think this is going to be it for this session. This is typically how the sessions will run. I'll trade from 6:30 to 8. And then if I don't see any entries from 6:30 to 8, then I'll typically stay until maybe around 8:30, or at least until we have 1 entry. And that's pretty much how the same schedule will work pretty much every day. I only trade around this time in the morning. I don't trade any time after it. Sometimes I'll squeeze in a couple trades here and there, but for the most part, I usually just sit out and then I wait for the next day, because typically the best market movement is from 6:30 to 8. So let me just clean this up a little bit. I'm just going to show you real quick. So from 6:30 to 8 is usually where you get all of the volatility, right? From 8 to 8 to 10, this is typically where people go to lunch, because we are here well, I'm on the West Coast. If you guys are on the East Coast, this is typically lunchtime for a lot of people. So you'll see the market go sideways pretty much this whole time. It'll probably move up a little bit, go sideways, move a little more, go sideways, move back down, go sideways, etc. So you're going to see a lot of this like sideways movement from like 8 until 10. And then from 10, you're going to see a pickup in movement. So like typically, this is why I stopped trading at 8, because you'll start to see that the market starts to die out a little bit. So this is pretty much how it's going to be every day, guys. I'll be back again live tomorrow for the next live session at 6:30. And then we'll trade until 8, lock in our profits, take off the rest of the day, and then pretty much rinse and repeat the same day, same process every single day, same routine. So let me see if there's anything else here that I need to cover, but I think that might be it. Here's some profits from Anelli, or Anelli took the loss as well. It's all good. It happens. Here's CSUKs and here's CTs. Yeah, CT said that he dodged a bullet with the 80 loss, could have been more. Yeah, no, solid right there, CT. So overall profit for the day on your account. Justin over here as well. Justin took the sells earlier, locked in a total profit of 812 for the day. Nice work, Justin. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any more profits to post up, you know, feel free to send them up. I do see a couple of messages over here. So let's see. We have Layla over here. Layla over here locked in a total profit of 207 for the day. Nice work, Layla. And I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to email me. You guys can email me at sean@kodikaitrades.com. Otherwise, I'm going to take a quick break from now until the mentoring session at 2. And then at 2 o'clock, we will come back for the mentoring session and we'll pick up for the rest of the trading week. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. I'll be back in about 6 hours at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It's 8 o'clock right now. So about 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah, 6 hours from now, I'll be back. And then we will continue on with our mentoring session. Otherwise, if you guys don't attend the mentoring session later, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning for the next live session as we continue on with this trading week. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys in a few for the mentoring session. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow.